Welcome to the February edition of the BDN News. This month we'll take a look at some highlights from recent competitions, shout out to alumni Gordon Stansberry, round up our trivia winner from January, and check out the sports sectional results, and finally take a look at what's up next from the BDN News. Next is our science spotlight. Well, Ben, I know you were at some of these events, so why don't you tell us a little bit more about them?
Thanks, Zach. The Science Olympiad team had a great day at the regional competition held at Lemoyne College on Saturday, January 27th. Highlights of the day were a 2-minute-plus gold medal helicopter flight from Caleb Seal, a silver medal spot for our mousetrap performance, a gold medal in optics, and from our talented freshmen, Leah DeMario and Tyler Falkenberg, a bronze for Mission Impossible. Seniors, Trevor Crystal, Caleb Seal, myself, Corley Everett, Alex Drake, and Lucas Bertolozzi combined for over 25 medals. And juniors, Hannah Butler, Zoe Salve, and Annie Vigliotti were also multiple medals, along with team freshman Marilla Bongiovanni. The team will travel to the Cornell Invitational just this past weekend, actually, Zach. They traveled there. They took home a medal, very hard competition to take home a medal. I believe it was in rock, so
Good event for them.
Yeah, an event we've been doing better in this year.
All right, well, Ben, I saw a picture of you back with you and Caleb. Do you think that's when you compete at the states tournaments? Could we get a better look at you two in action instead of just standing around? Like, come on, give us an action shot.
Well, Zach, I'll tell you what, I think I look good from every angle. So
I don't know about that, Ben.
I don't really think it matters if it's whatever angle it's from. I'm looking good in there.
Well, the science department hosted the first ever STEM career fair in the Library Media Center right before winter break. There were hosts to 9 speakers from a variety of careers in STEM fields. In case you didn't know, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, where students learned about the job outlook, education, and training needed in many different STEM and STEM-related professions. So over 75 students actually attended, so it was a great event.
Yeah, Zach, and did you know by the year 2022, just about the time we're going to be ready to graduate from college, there will be 9 million STEM-related jobs in the United States alone, and I sure hope that some of the our class, Zach, will be ready to fill those positions. And on to our mock trial team that's been practicing and preparing some cross-examinations for this year's case. We spoke with the team, and they talked about the camaraderie and the closeness of their group, and they don't think of themselves as a club, but more of a family. And because they're like a family, they can, kind of engage a little bit better and, a lot better of a club. It's just, pretty interesting, Zach. Obviously, any sports team, any club, it's nice to be close with the participants just to have a lot better of an experience, really. And if anybody's interested in maybe a field in law or something along those lines, this could be the club for you. Mock trial teaches each member something new, but also enables its members to be silly and wild while preparing a case that will be presided over by a judge. And their first trial is March 1st, so good luck to them. That's coming up tomorrow, Zach.
All right. Well, in January, the French and Spanish honor societies held their induction ceremonies. Doze students were inducted into the French Honor Society with a speech by Henri Morac, and 31 joined the Spanish Honor Society led by El Presidente Alejandro Drake. So congratulations to both groups for mastering new languages skills, as well as for sharing culture and learning through their volunteer efforts. Bienvenido a la maison to those students who attended the trip to Quebec in February.
Well, Zach, I think you could use a little bit of work on some of those.
Yeah, some of my French isn't very well.
You could use a little bit of work, but I'll give you credit. You're not a French student, but. And if you missed our BDN News special edition, you may not know that we recently hosted Senator David Vleski for a quick tour of the high school. And Senator Vleski spent some time in the robot room, and where the Robo Bears kind of showed him around and let him kind of drive a little bit and see how good he was at that. I'm sure he had a lot of fun. We had him here, and it was a lot of fun. We had the interview with me, you, Zach, and Jackson. And we, in this exclusive interview, we even got to ask him some very interesting questions. Try to get him the scoop, Zach. You were trying to catch him off a little bit, see future plans, but he didn't reveal anything for us. And really, we ended also with some coffee and some nice refreshments here. And that was probably one of my favorite parts of the day, were the donuts at the end. And no scones, but maybe in the future we can get some scones. And I think he really enjoyed his time here, and he's a very great guy, Zach.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice visit, Ben. So I really enjoyed, especially getting to talk with him. He was really personable. But Let's head over to see what Zoe has for us this month.
Tyler and Leah have been working on their Mission Impossible machines since this past summer in anticipation for the Science Olympiad competition. Practically every week, maybe even multiple times a week, they come in to work on, fix up, and improve upon the machine. As the name implies, Mission Impossible is no easy task. To those unfamiliar with what they're doing, it is a Science Olympiad event where students build a machine to run certain tasks, which changes from year to year. We here at Bear Den News are extremely proud of how hard they worked and how well they did at regionals, and can't wait to see what they do at states.
Thanks, Zoe, for that short little video, and glad the freshmen took that event on for Science Olympiad. And in case you're wondering, they've been working on that one event since August and are adding in some new pieces for state competition. I know there's been a lot of work on some of those new pieces. Ms. Carpenter spent probably, I think, the last month trying to get her little Arduino working, but it's going now. And next up, we have a feature report from Cassidy Kelly and Megan Sternberg on What's Your Snow Day Ritual. Here's a video from her on the scene reporting.
Jenna, what is your snow day routine?
Well, first I start by not doing my homework, and then I go to sleep.
I throw ice out the window.
I put a pencil in the freezer.
Wear your pajamas inside out?
I just normally come right to school, and the school does not close until after I'm here.
Oh, you gotta put your toothbrush in the freezer.
Your toothbrush?
You gotta wear your pajamas inside out and put ice cubes in the toilet.
I just check the weather and I put ice outside.
My BJ's the other way. I go to bed pretty late and I just pray for the best.
Sleep.
I wake up at like 2 p.m. and then I take a shower and then I go back to bed and I sleep until the next day.
Well, thanks, Megan Cass. That certainly was interesting. And on that fun note, let's go to our trivia segment. This segment features a question which we'll broadcast on the air and also send to each student's school email account. Our inaugural question was about how Chenango schools claim to have the bear as our mascot. The story we heard is, years ago, one of our great sports teams took a camping trip to the Adirondacks, and while hiking, the campers stumbled upon a bear. Our trivia question was a two-parter, though. What type of bear was it, and what did the campers do? Well, one of our favorite teachers and coaches, Mr. Cretero, one of the nicest guy you'll ever meet, submitted the first correct response in record time. The type of bear was a black bear, and the campers responded by first trying to back up slowly, but wrestling coach Bill Pashley stepped out and confronted the bear with his pistol. When the story was told to old-timers in the area, they shook their heads with disbelief and said that God must have been watching over Bill Pashley when he shot the bear. Well, if you would like to read the complete story, go on over to the library's homepage, chslibrary.info, and click on Chenango Bear to read the full story. And a special congratulations to Mr. Gratero, and thank you for being a part of Bear Country. Our February trivia question is keeping up with upcoming March Madness season. It's about our own SU men's basketball team. Our beloved men's basketball coach, Jim Boeheim, has been coaching for a while now. Do you know what year he has started as head coach? You may have to do some research for this one because he did start a long time ago, and he's one of the former Orangemen and players, but the answer is out there. So submit your response via email or survey to win a fantastic Bear Den News trivia prize.
Zach, pretty crazy to think about Boeheim. You know, I can give you maybe a ballpark, but I can't give you an exact. I mean, think about it. He's been, it's going to be weird once he leaves for us because he's just been the coach for years. We don't even think about it anymore. It's just Jim Boeheim in Syracuse.
Yeah, he's the oldest coach in NCAA Division I basketball history.
Crazy stuff right there. And speaking of prizes, the Library Media Center is offering a prize for the 300th subscriber to the Bear Den video channel. We're closing in on the number 300, so don't delay. And you can subscribe you can subscribe right here on this channel at the little red button down below. And also you can hit that bell if you want to get notifications for whenever we go live or upload a video.
Well, now over to Riley Ellis for our Alumni Shoutout.
I am Riley Ellis with the Alumni Shadow, and this month it is Gordon Stansberry, who graduated in 1992. He now works as a traffic engineer, which was his dream in high school, along with marrying his high school sweetheart, which he did, and have a family, which he now has 2 sons, Gordon and Ethan, and 2 daughters, Emma and Gracie. He doesn't think there's a lot of differences between then versus now, but he does think that we are more accepting of differences. He wants us all to know not to stress about things, that everything's going to be all right, and don't worry about it, and stay happy. See you soon next month in the Alumni Shadow.
Well, Zach, the winter season is winding down and sectional play is ramping up, so let's see what Jackson has for us.
All right.
Our Bears sports teams are wrapping up their season with some teams still in the hunt for sectional titles. Our bowling teams wrapped up a very successful season on Super Bowl Sunday at sectionals. The seniors wrapped up great careers in high school with quite a few wins under their belts. The cheerleaders also recently wrapped up their season with a sectional appearance which was hosted right here in the Bear Den. The Bears were strong and finished out an impressive season of competing. The indoor track teams competed in sectional finals earlier this week. The girls and boys team raced to the finish for titles, including a first place finish in the boys 4x400 relay, and Joe Mozak finished in first place in weight throwing and is now heading to the state qualifiers. The girls volleyball team has officially competed a second straight sectional title, closing the season out at 20-2. The Bears looked as impressive as ever, winning in 3 games in sectionals, winning all 3 sets in each game. The Bears took down South Jefferson, Oneida, and then Lowellville in the finals, which was hosted right here in the Bear Den. The Bears are losing a lot of seniors this year, but had an undefeated junior varsity team as well as returning talent on varsity. They will look to repeat as champions next year for the 3rd year in a row. On the boys' side, the Bears are getting ready to end out a solid season and are ready to compete in the sectional finals Thursday night against the VBS Red Devils at Oneida High School to try to win their 3rd straight sectional title for the team. The team split games in the regular season and look to show exciting championship game. The Bears will look to rely on seniors with past experience in these games like these. If they win, they will play in the regional finals on Saturday in Mount Markham to try to win their 3rd straight regional championship. The girls basketball team finished a strong regular season at 10-9 in an extremely competitive class. They hosted their first playoff game in nearly a decade and took down the Marcellus Mustangs in an impressive 39-29 victory. They then traveled to South Jefferson to try to pull off an upset but fell short. They look to take experience into next year where they will be returning a lot of young talent. The boys basketball team has made it back to the sectional finals for the 2nd year in a row. They took down Syracuse ITC, Lowellville, in a classic overtime game in the semifinals against VBS, 69-62. The Bears play in the Carrier Dome Sunday afternoon at 3:30 against West Hill. If you would like to be updated, please keep in check with the Bear Den news. Back to you, Zach and Ben.
Well, thank you, Jackson. And as you can see, even with the rough weather, there is lots going on in Bear Country this month. Next month, we'll take a look at the mock trial case, see how the spring musical is shaping up, discuss the Writer's Chair contest, and check back in with our feature reporters. Anyone interested in joining the Bear Den news crew? Never too late. Stop in and see Mrs. Kluznik or Mrs. Carpenter to sign up. There are great job titles, awesome shirts, and free training, plus the famous Miss Carpenter scones.
Well, that one was even written in there. I didn't even have to add that one on my own. But, yeah, definitely lots of scones to go around, obviously. You got to get here quick, though. I may steal all of them on you. But, well, that closes out this month's edition. Thanks for joining us. And, as always, if you have news or comments, please send them along to our email, beardenvideo@chittendaleschools.org. And, Zach,
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
So I'm basically just going to